moly, give that boat.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Rhino.
Holy moly, give that boat.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Rhino.
Cleveland! This is for you! Live listen into Cleveland right now. Was that the series slipping out of your hands and through your fingers? So if that's Cleveland, you got to ask what the heck is going on in New York right now. Let's check in with New York.
I got one question. Go TV!
That's New York. I mean, what did we witness last night? That was insane. I sat here, no joke. I don't want to toot my own horn, but for whatever reason, I can read basketball games pretty well. I can read matchups well. It's kind of my thing. It's my gift from the Lord, which I embrace. So I'm proud of it. But I sat here literally 24 hours ago and said, if Kenny Atkinson does not play Keon Ellis, it would be basketball malpractice if Jalen Brunson gets going. Well, for the majority of the game, he did not. The Cavs were rolling. I picked the Cavs to win this game. The game was playing out exactly how I thought the game was going to play out. Keon Ellis got into the game. He looked a little nervous, had a couple of moments where it was a little choppy, had a turnover, but defensively, he was sound. He didn't give you I don't think he scored off the top of my head. Play the sounds of crickets, and that would be Sacramento. It's actually not. We are waiting on some news this afternoon. We're waiting on some news from Max Reynaud. But back to last night, it was going exactly as I thought it would go. Keon got in the game. The Cavs go into the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. They extend the lead to, I believe, 22 or 23 a couple of minutes into the fourth quarter, and I didn't like what I saw at all. I'm like, uh-oh. And I told you, I was going to put my money where my mouth was at. Luckily, on Prize Picks, if you want to join me on Prize Picks, use the code Rhino50. You get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. It's a live market, so you can get out of your transaction early. You can take an offer. I didn't like what I was seeing from Cleveland. It just looked like it was stalling a little bit. So what did I do? I sold. I sold high. And then I went to New York and that worked out too. But more importantly, how in the world does Kenny Atkinson, which we're going to hear from in a second, how in the world does he leave James Harden on an island to allow Jalen Brunson to go on an 11-point run? It was the same play every single time down the court. It was a screen to get Harden because the Cavs were switching onto Brunson, and Brunson is lighting him up. Kenny Atkinson had 4 timeouts in his back pocket, 2 of which he was going to lose if he didn't use them. Damn right I sold, Jason. Absolutely. If the Cavs won, that would have been 57. I wasn't taking that risk. I didn't like how the offense was stalling. That was before they even made a run. That's right. But yes, they had a 99.9% chance of winning the game, which now it's not that crazy because we see it in a lot of games. It's not the first time we've seen teams come back like that, but in the playoffs, it is, because in the regular season, I don't usually look at the score and look at the clock when we get down to the 8-minute mark, the 7-minute mark, and try to do the math in your head about how many possessions are probably going to be left in this game. Like, do they need to make their move now if it's going to happen? And the pace of the game at that point, when Cleveland started to sputter a little bit, I was right on the edge. I'm like, oh man, it's got to be now, because I believe it was about 7 minutes left on the clock. And that's exactly when it started. And it took the Knicks all the way into the end of regulation to get that thing tied. Yes, Mike Brown was looking to get the timeout. And then in overtime, Cleveland scores 3 points. 3 points in overtime. It was look, they just stopped making shots. They were not making shots that they normally hit. They were not making shots that they were hitting earlier in the game. And Kenny Atkinson's decision not to mix things up until the overtime period. Now you come in with Max Strus. Didn't come back with Keon. I told you Kenny would get skewered, and he is getting absolutely skewered today. And it wasn't just about what he did last night in the Garden. It's also about what he said after the game. Check out Kenny Atkinson's answer at the press conference, and then check out what Mike Brown had to say about their quote-unquote adjustment.
He's been one of our best defenders in these playoffs. I trust him. Smart, great hands. Didn't think about that.
They were trying to do the same thing with Jalen, and so we said, okay, we feel like we can play that game. We try not to play that game much, but we feel like we have a guy that we can play that game with in Jalen. And so, just like we have to try to figure out different ways to guard Harden and Mitchell, they got to figure out different ways to guard Jalen. But there's no secret, we were attacking Harden.
And here's what doesn't make sense about it, right? Kenny Atkinson was doing all of the right things through 3 quarters. He went to Ellis early in the game, which was smart. I understand his hesitancy to go back to Ellis because of the offensive side of the basketball. I get that. However, defensively, Keon was pretty good. He had 1 silly foul. Other than that, he kind of settled in. He was doing a masterful job. The game plan against Cat was great. You're keeping Evan Mobley low. So when Cat comes middle, he's now dealing with 2 different people. It's like, wow, that's a really good scheme. The Cavs are all over this tonight, and then it just stops. It stops. And to say that James Harden has been one of your best defenders this offseason, he can't die on that hill. And that's exactly what he did. He went all in on his bad decisions and died on the hill of James Harden. And you can't take James Harden off the court. Unbelievable. James Harden, did he have some good moments defensively in the last series? Yes. You know why? Because he was guarding the Pistons' worst player. Whoever it was on the floor, James Harden was guarding them. James Harden was never put on spot unless it was in a cross match or a switch on Cade Cunningham. Maybe he got a little bit of Tobias Harris, but Tobias Harris was lighting James Harden up. So we've got a lot to talk about with that game. We've got some sound from Rob Perez and also Antonio Daniels. These guys are the experts. And just wait till you hear what they have to say. So we can talk about last night's game. Game 2 will be tomorrow night. The big thing that's going on today in Sacramento relates to Max Reynaud. The all-rookie team is going to be announced here in just a little bit. Shams, we'll be on Shams alert because if Peacock's going to do it roughly around 7:34-ish, 7:35-ish, Sham will probably drop it right around like 7:30 when the show goes on air. What an interesting dynamic here. This will be kind of fun to watch. But undoubtedly, Max Reynaud, at minimum, deserves to be second team all-rookie. At minimum. We're going to look at the numbers. I'm going to go through some stuff. I've got some videos that I took throughout the season of Max. We'll listen to his argument on why he should be on the all-rookie team. But seriously, if you look at the numbers and you look at what Max has done relative to the other rookies, one, he led them in double-doubles. He was in the top 3 in rebounding per game. The totals were a little bit different, but rebounding per game, top 3. There's an argument Max Reynaud should be on the first team. There really is. And I have a lot of respect for a guy. And by the way, Max Reynaud, he was one of the rookies of the month when he was averaging 17.9 and 8.5 rebounds a game. I've got a ton of respect for Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson has a vote. And Jason Anderson came out and shared his vote of the Sacramento Bee. Go check out my guy, Jay. I had the Kings, Maxime Reynaud, on my ballot as my final all-rookie first team selection. He was 8th amongst rookies in scoring and 4th in rebounding. Was 5th in scoring and 4th in rebounding after the All-Star break. So respect to Jay for putting that out. And if I had a ballot, and I responded to the tweet as well, just saying objectively, looking at the stats and also looking at the eye test with what Max faced throughout the season, having to, and Jerry Reynolds will tell you, Grant will tell you, not a good defender, but at least he is not shy. He's not scared to try to defend like some rookies are. I saw Max, with the exception of Valanciunas, and Max would tell you that was his rookie or his welcome to the NBA moment, guarding Jonas Valanciunas. With the exception of that, Max, I would have him, if I had a vote, as my 5th on the all rookie team, first team. But we all know the Sacramento rule. If you don't know the Sacramento Golden Rule, it's this. You have to do twice as much to get half of the positive recognition. That's the Sacramento Golden Rule. Remember Malik Monk, who was undoubtedly that year, and I say that unbiasedly, the 6th man of the year? Yeah, he got skipped over. What about Domas? Those 2 seasons other than the Beam team year where he should have been on the All-Star team? What did he have? Like 97 double-doubles at the All-Star break? Yeah, I know that's not possible, but I'm saying that to make a point. And he doesn't make the All-Star team. You've got to do twice as much to get half the run. So I'm going to warn you, do not be surprised if Max Reynaud is not on either all-rookie team, because some publications throughout the season and even at the end of the season, when they did their rookie rankings, had him outside of 10. So we can break that down, get into it as the show goes along. Also, Captain Obvious here. We've been talking about it for a minute, but Evan Sidery putting out what we have talked about on the show, an ugly truth that I have said, that is Domantas Sabonis. He's probably going to be traded. He is probably going to be traded. We'll get to that here in a little bit. How about Aaron Rodgers? Like, if you asked me to make a list of the retirement tours that I would not want to see, that I would least want to see, Aaron Rodgers might be near the top of the list. Aaron Rodgers has literally taken the Brett Favre act and spun it on its head. Yeah, he's coming back another season, which we learned leaked out a day or two ago, but he had to add in that this is going to be his last season. It's going to be a really awkward retirement tour. Our team's going to give him ayahuasca and some quote unquote flower before each game, each road game. How are they going to honor him? Are they going to put a dark tent on the Steelers sideline so Aaron feels at home? This is going to get weird. You know why it's going to get weird? Because the press is going to be asking Aaron all of those questions that you would ask somebody that is a first ballot Hall of Famer that is on their way out the door. And you know how Aaron is with the press, which is sad because he used to be much different. Talk to Grant about that tonight, 7:00 with his open forum show. Grant was extremely close for a while with Aaron Rodgers. In fact, he had Aaron Rodgers on his local show the day after the Packers won the Super Bowl. Only local market in the United States that had the Super Bowl MVP on with them. So Aaron is an interesting dude. I watched his documentary, whatever you want to call it, in Enigma, that was on Netflix. Good for him. It's just a weird, different dude. And the reason that Sabonis is not here is because I didn't update the picture. So let's update the picture right now as we go. Let's go to the, nope, not there. Here we go. Evan Sidery. There it is. Evan Sidery. The Kings will openly shop Domantas Sabonis this summer. Sacramento would like 2026 draft capital for Sabonis, who they're ready to move on from in favor of Max Reynaud. It's not just Max Reynaud. We'll get into it in a minute. Sabonis will make 94.1. You can go through it by year as Evan does. I have been saying this since the Kings Court came back on the air. I have been saying this for a while we were at our other place of employment doing a different show. Not a surprise here. Couple things. Scott Perry was asked after the trade deadline about Domantas Sabonis. Here's what he had to say.
Well, he's here. He's a Sacramento King right now, so that's his future. We expect. We haven't been able to really watch him much this year. Like as I mentioned, he's played 33 games. I mean, he's missed 33 games, so it's that about 17, 18 games this year that he's been able to play. So looking forward to hopefully having him out there enough the remaining part of the season to see how he fits. I had a great deal of respect for him coming in. That has not changed from my perspective. I've enjoyed getting to know him, not only as a basketball player, but as a young man, and I've enjoyed that time with him. So his future is with the Kings right now.
Looks like that's up, and it's not a big surprise. There was this really interesting, and we were kind of talking about it in between interviews. the day of exit interviews with the players, Domas must have said all NBA 4 times when he was asked questions at the podium, like almost like he was putting his like stamp, trying to convince somebody, trying to remind them of what he is. I mean, Domas arguably is the most, outside of Malik Monk, beloved king that's on the roster. Domas Sabonis has done nothing to play his way out of Sacramento. You typically do not lose your job due to injury. Most of us, including myself, including Jerry Reynolds, once Max Reynaud began to develop, looked at that and said, holy moly, can you imagine Domas and Max playing together? That could be really good. 2 talented big men that see the floor well, 2 skilled big men that pass well. Like, that's where our thinking went. But then I just go back to what I asked Scott Perry at the trade deadline about the development of players, it being the 3rd year that they had signed a unsigned free agent to a full-time deal because they, 1, identified them, and 2, developed them. Scott, his only one would be Dylan Cardwell, but the organization, and I got to give a lot of credit to Stockton and ex-general manager Gabriel Harris for the development of Keon Ellis, the development of Isaac Jones. All 3 of those guys became full-time main roster players in 3 consecutive years. But with Dylan, Scott went into a little bit more about him, and there was something interesting he said. Last week we went over it, but what Scott said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, is there's a vision of what we want a Sacramento Kings center to look like. And Scott also talked a lot about his dealings with Ben Wallace. And he said, I want to be clear, I'm not comparing Dylan to Ben Wallace, but that to me, combined with some of the stuff that we were able to confirm that was happening behind the scenes during the season with Domas, Christie, and Perry, was kind of this is probably it. And what cemented it for me was the pay. You can't have Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis on the same roster. And I don't think you are going to get the return that you are seeking if you're going to cut down on the roster, trading Malik Monk, buying out DeMar DeRozan. You basically have 4 to 5 roster spots to fill. And you're in the second apron right now. So a Captain Obvious report by Evan Sidery, something we've been all over, but we'll see, because this is what it's tied to. For me, it is completely tied to one man. You know who that man is? You guys brought him up the other day, and I've kind of rethought what you had brought up. Oh my gosh. Did I really do that? Okay, so I reversed the images. Let's bring that other man up. Look at me editing on the fly. Downloads, yes. Give me this one. There we go. It's tied to Giannis and Evan Sidery again. The Thunder only need to decline Hartenstein's team option this summer to become apron compliant for Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. How about that? So when you initially asked me a couple days ago about Giannis and the Thunder, I'm like, nah, Sam Presti ain't doing that. But if this series continues, which it picks up again tonight, Game 2, Oklahoma City and the Spurs, if you see a lot more of what you saw in Game 1 the rest of the series and the Thunder get bumped up out of the playoffs, this becomes more real to me. Think about it. Chet Holmgren is on a short list. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA. And it's no secret, him and Wemby do not like each other. They don't. They have got a feud going back many, many years. But if you're the Thunder and Chet Holmgren can't get it done against a 22-year-old, and nobody, let's qualify this, nobody is going to get it done against Wemby in 4 or 5 years. He's going to be that guy. Nobody is going to do it. But if you look at where Giannis is at in his career, and I could go into Giannis's availability, it has not been great. He's missed a couple, 2 of the last 3 playoff runs, but he did bring a championship to a small market. So I give him immense credit for that. You know, that's the upgrade. Like, if you're going to have to deal with Wemby, I get getting off Chet and going to Giannis. It might be the best available option to combat Victor Wembanyama for a couple of years, 3-4 years. But let's tie this back to the Sabonis trade. I don't think any team is making a move for Domantas Sabonis until the Giannis shoe falls. That Giannis shoe has to drop first. Because after that shoe drops, there's going to be reaction to that deal. If he goes to the West, what's that mean for the East? If he goes to the West, it's time to ramp up. If you think that you can maybe compete with Oklahoma City and compete with the San Antonio Spurs. In a perfect world, a Sabonis deal happens before or right at the draft. That's a perfect world. But I don't think it can happen without the Giannis shoe dropping first. So we can talk more about that. I do want to play some audio going back to Sabonis. We already hit this. Report the Thunder. Check this out. No, we did not. The Thunder are fully expected to trade their 12, 17, and 37th picks to try and move into the top 10. What? Okay. Let me ask you a question. If you're the Sacramento Kings at 7, do you consider that? Do you consider that? 3 first-round picks? Or do you think your guys at 7? A lot of people have Acuff tied to the Kings, but I'm a firm believer Acuff is not going to be there at 7. What do you do? If Sam Presti picks up the phone and offers Scott Perry the 12th, 17th, and 37th pick, that is a very interesting situation. Give me your thoughts on it. Yesterday, we ended the show with Jason Kidd, and it was reported that he was fired. Now it's coming out that they mutually parted ways. I've heard that Jason did make a run within the organization for that president job, and it did not work. So you could see maybe where Masai Ujiri and him aren't going to get along well. And Patrick Dumont, that's the bigger thing to me. Erratic owner. This guy can be convinced like the world's flat. He can, you could convince Patrick Dumont at this point to do anything with that franchise. If you'll trade Luka Doncic, you'll flip Anthony Davis, like what I don't remember the IRS code for when you sell a flip home or whatever. You sell your home and then you buy another home. Property exchange. Like, if you're willing to do those things and then get off of $40 million owed to Jason Kidd, man, you got something to sell. Anybody that's watching, if you got something to sell, tell me, find a way to get to Patrick Dumont. So we can go there as well. I did look up on Google, and this is according to Bet Online. These are the favorites right now to get that coach or to get that job. Sean Sweeney at plus 150, Nick Nurse at plus 300, James Borrego, top contender on select books, specifically Bovada. Johnny Bryant, don't know who he is, plus 1,800. Micah Nori, plus 2,200. And how about this guy? Frank Vogel, plus 2,500. So the coaching search for Dallas is underway. As we said, you've got basketball tonight. Very much looking forward to that. Don't forget, we will cut into Peacock Live for the all-rookie team announcements. So stay here. We'll digest that together. You finally have a king on the athletic player tiers list, and his name is Domantas Sabonis. I feel like I just talked about him. So we can hit that as well. Again, so much to go over. Let's get to you, and then I want to play some sound about last night in that Knicks game. I mean, that was, to me, I don't know that Cleveland comes back from that. I maybe they do. Maybe. I hope they do. I want it to be a good series. Daniel talking about the Thunder, maybe makes sense. The world is flat. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Got you. We can get a point guard, LeBaron Philon Jr. at number 12. Peter's always doing that stuff. He's a step ahead of me. OKC can't sign them all. That's exactly it. Great job by you, Tristan. Exactly it. I think, and they want to retain some of the guys that they already have. Now, okay, what if you threw in AJ Mitchell? What if you threw in an AJ Mitchell and the Kings threw in, well, see, how does that work with the draft? I need to ask somebody that. I don't know if it has to be, you have to have a tangible asset. Let me think about that. We'll look it up as the show goes along. I think because OKC has too many picks, they have the 10 first rounders in the next 5 years. Yep, Gregory, that is the only face Jason Kidd has done for the last 6 years. Yeah, it's kind of like Quinn Snyder. Like, I don't know if like many of you pay attention to Quinn Snyder when he's coaching. I've never seen Quinn Snyder look relaxed. Like, Quinn Snyder looks like somebody just kicked his dog. He's got a flat tire on the car. His refrigerator went out. Hair going in every direction. He's a hell of a coach. But, like, I don't think that guy knows how to relax. I don't. Kings need to consider anything. Why would OKC trade up to the top 10? I think Tristan summed it up pretty well. Mikal, Acuff, and Kingston, too good to give up. See, that's the question, Derek. Well, okay. The $1 million question, Derek, if you want to believe the reports that are out there that the Kings are extremely high on Acuff, and this goes back to months ago, the $1 million question is Acuff going to be there at 7? If they don't think Acuff's going to be there at 7, and I personally do not think Acuff will be there at 7, then Kingston, some of the other guys, could you get one of them at 12? That's 100% what you have to, or how you have to evaluate that, assuming Acuff is the guy. Depends on what you can get at 12. Well, okay, you're not going to know what you can get at 12. And there are some guys that are moving up, like Cameron Carr, for instance, from where is he from? I want to say Baylor off the top of my head. Cameron Carr had a tremendous combine. A guy like that will probably be there at 12. We'll pull up a mock draft. If Acuff available, yes. Okay. Mick Foley. Great. We'll talk about it Friday with Adam and hopefully our surprise new correspondent during the wrestling segment. OKC, that would be amazing. It does kind of make sense. I poo-pooed it initially. I think somebody brought it up yesterday. I'm like, nah. Sam Presti ain't doing that. But if they get pushed around, and we'll talk about tonight, the spread is larger tonight. Last time I checked, I believe it was 7.5 points. Let's double check. 7.5 points. De'Aaron Fox earlier was questionable. I don't know if he went through shoot around or not. Let's see what the injury report says. De'Aaron Fox is still questionable on the latest injury report. So we'll track that as the show goes along. Let's go get Joel Embiid. Tristan, man. Tristan, you're always stirring the pot. What is that? Why Jerry Reynolds calls you a shitbird, Tristan? Tristan, pay attention. Do we have any of that?
Tristan, pay attention.
Yeah,
Pay attention.
Come on, Tristan.
Come on.
Come on, Tristan. I would think teams trading for Sabonis will want to dump salary. Seems very unlikely they would get a first-round pick. It depends on the team, Gregory. I've been pretty strong about how I feel about that on the record. Did you think that Desmond Bane would get 4 first-round picks to go to Miami or to go to Orlando? If the fit is right and you think it genuinely takes you over the top and the player wants to be there long term, everything is kind of at the eye of the beholder, especially if you're a team that thinks you're on the brink. Like if I'm the Raptors right now and I'm watching the East, and I know the Raptors got bounced early, but they showed a different style of basketball that I think is more conducive to their star, their identity, because that's what Scotty Barnes is. He's a big physical downhill guy, and he's very unselfish. So Brandon Ingram did not play in that series, and Quickly did not play in that series. So I'm thinking, I'm watching the finals right now. I think we could probably, if we had Sabonis, that might be different against a Cleveland, against a New York. What would you have to give up? I think you could probably get at least a first-round pick from a team like Toronto. I think maybe you could get 2, actually, if they think they're right there on the edge. And you also have to look at the back. Here's what has to make sense for the Kings when we talk about Sabonis. You don't want to trade Domantas Sabonis and take on a ton of long-term salary unless it is like that guy, that player. Like, okay, in a made-up world, it's Giannis, okay? And Giannis, imagine in this made-up world, you're like, hey, Giannis, do you love Sacramento? Do you want to be in Sacramento? And Giannis says,
yeah, for sure. Everything you just said.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we are going to take your contract on and we're going to extend you, right? In that case, you have no problem taking that on because you now have the guy that you have never had in franchise history. But if it's Brandon Ingram and it's Emmanuel Quickly and Ingram's owed, I don't know, just throw a number out there. Let's say he's owed $97 million over the next 2 years. You're kind of like, because what are the Kings trying to do? They're trying to rebuild, and that's a big commitment to make to a rebuild that hasn't even started really building, if that makes any sense. Please no. Stop. Mike Tomlin's glad he's not coaching Pittsburgh. Yeah. Go Spurs, go. Lynn's happy. I'll give you my pick for the game in a little bit. And remember, coming up in right now, 60 minutes from now, we'll know if Max Reno was one of the 2 players or one player named to the all-rookie team. So we'll get to some more of these comments as we go back to last night. Let's talk some more about last night and what happened in New York City. It was magical. Biggest comeback in the playoffs, I believe, since 2013. It's incredible. A 22-point comeback during the regular season is impressive, but it's not take your breath away. Like, that's transcendent, right? But once you get to the playoffs, and it's a 22-point lead with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter because the playoff game is played such a different way, that's when it's like, holy bleep, that's a special comeback. And really what happened was the Knicks just started making shots. The Knicks got the matchup that they wanted, a matchup that they were not getting for a lot of the game, and Kenny Atkinson did not adjust to it. If you weren't with us last night or yesterday, I said it will be considered basketball malpractice. The entire reason you get Keon Ellis is for situations and matchups like this because he is very slippery. He's difficult to screen. He's really good at blowing up screens. He can go over, through, under, whatever you want. So I sat here and said, if the Knicks are getting what they want, Brunson's cooking, and you don't turn to him, it's basketball malpractice. What do I know? I guess I don't know much. Let's check with Antonio Daniels and Rob Perez. In this case, Rob Perez earlier today.
If I'm a Cavs fan waking up today, the first question I'm asking is, what was the point? Well, the first question is, why was James Harden left out there? Second question would be, what was the point of acquiring Keon Ellis? Is this not the exact scenario with a 20-point lead to prevent Jalen Brunson from going nuclear? On paper, that sure seems like a guy, a leading candidate to assume that responsibility. Okay, if not him, then Dennis Schroeder. If not him, then Dean Wade. Maybe we get out of the straight switching no matter what because you can't communicate. Max Strus. There were so many viable options for them is what makes this so ridiculous that they did not change. And it wasn't a 10-point lead that they squandered. It was 22.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 game minutes, 15 real minutes to consider a change, and they still chose the status quo.
So that's Rob Perez. Love Worldwide Wob. Good dude. Antonio Daniels, who is the analyst for the Pelicans. Great guy as well. Bowling Green State University grad. They couldn't let the topic go.
What was the point of trading for Keon Ellis? What was the point of bringing in Schroeder? What's the point of having Dean Wade, who's 6'10"?
Dean Wade, Max Strus, Keon Ellis hasn't been playing in the playoffs, period. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened, but you do. It's funny because we talked about this in the Boston Celtics series, right? You go out and you trade Anthony Simons for Vooch, and then Vucevic doesn't play in the game 7. Right? You continue to see guys that were acquired during the deadline that aren't being used in the most impactful time of the year. Again, you know what Keon Ellis does really well? You know what he does really well, Rob? He's an excellent defender. He's an excellent defender. I can understand not putting Dennis Schroeder on Jalen Brunson because of Brunson's body, right? Dennis Schroeder's small in stature. He's quick, but Jalen Brunson will be able to get him off of him by simply using his body, right? That's why I can understand. All right, well, that's why we go with James Harden. But now James Harden doesn't have the foot speed. So now you have to go with someone bigger. So that's why you use a Max Strus. That's why you use a Dean Wade. The issue becomes when the screen comes, why do they simply acquiesce to that switch and then leave? If that's all it takes, what's the purpose of having that particular guy on Jalen Brunson in the first place? How easy teams switch in today's NBA, Rob, drives me bananas. What happened to scheming? What happened to let's do what we can do to make this as difficult as possible on their main guy? What happened to those days? Now everything is, well, you got to have switchability and versatility. I get it. So we can switch it all. The only problem with switching it all, Rob, is guys are smart. Jalen Brunson knows who to attack and how to attack.
And that's exactly what happened down the stretch. Go back and watch it. It was the same play over and over. Whoever James Harden was guarding came to set a screen for Jalen Brunson. And, you know, once Brunson gets going, then you get Landry Shambert going. Then you get Mikal Bridges, who hasn't been able to throw a pea into the Pacific for the most part this postseason. He hits a fadeaway three, and the game's gone. I go back to the fact that Kenny Atkinson had 4 timeouts, 2 of which he was going to lose. So they're either use them or lose them. Once you get down the stretch, he would have dropped down to 2. Even some of the Knicks players were a little surprised. I think the broadcast was a little surprised that a timeout wasn't called. And even down the stretch of that game, and when I mean stretch, the last couple seconds, both teams did not call timeouts. So weird. Brunson, yeah, you got to give it to Brunson. He was great. Yeah, I can't. No, if you're talking about it, Lau, are you talking about the play where he was coming on a closeout and I don't know who it was that was trying to pass the ball to the corner and the ball went out of bounds and they called the foul on Merrill? Because if you are, I picked up my phone and I was about to tweet out the same thing. Not that the Cavs were going to win, but I'm like, oh, you can't make that call with the way this game has been officiated. And then I saw the replay and I'm like, you have to make that call. He was like grabbed. He was grabbed and then hooked. So you've got to make that call. Mike Brown and De'Aaron Fox in the NBA Finals would be hilarious. Yeah. I mean, Vivek Ranadive. Jason, I can't take credit for that. Jason Anderson from the B put that article out. But yeah, what do you think Vivek's head's going to be? Like that? Is that Vivek?
Game. Blouses.
Maybe he'll watch some Chappelle show, get an idea for a scheme. Jalen, more like Waylon. Am I right? Adam, let's go to the judges. I'm going to be fair because we do have King's Court justices. In the past, we've had to go to Kevin John at ABC 10 for a ruling on things. I'm going to go to the justices of the King's Court, and we're going to appeal to see if they thought that was funny, Adam. Jalen, more like Waylon. Am I right? Justices? Damn, Adam. You took up the justices' time with that? Come on, man. Does Reynaud get the snub for a guy like Trey Johnson? Well, let's talk about that really quick. I could see Reynaud getting the snub for a number of players. Let's put up the rookie stats really quick. So here's your rookies. You can ask me to click on a category, and I will happily organize them in terms of who had the most, who had the least. Yes, I could see him getting a snub for like anybody that has Derek Queen over Max Reynaud. Those are the problems that I'm going to have with this come 4:35. I don't have a problem with Jeremiah Fears at all. I think that's fair. Jeremiah Fears reminds me a lot of Damian Lillard. And when I say Lillard, I mean a very, very raw, young version of Damian Lillard. But a lot of these rookies did not get the extended. Some of them did. Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, because they were big parts of, well, one, a bad team, and two, a team that lost in the play-in. But Knippel sets the rookie record for made threes in a year. Let's ask Max. So Max was asked about, what would his argument, what would his, opening statement to the voters be, or his closing statement to the voters about why he deserves to be on the All-NBA rookie team.
I mean, I don't really think I need to sell myself in the sense that, season is over. You can just look back and look at it. I think your colleague, just mentioned, I led the rookies in double-doubles, led them in rebound per game as well. I think if you see the improvement, especially post All-Star break, probably the only rookie that, trended that way the whole year. And yeah, I believe in second in efficiency or something like that. I do think if you just, look at the numbers and look at the games that I've had against bigs of my class that may be competing with me for first team, I think that I showed that I was better, or at least I produced more. So that is what it is. I think the Western Conference Rookie of the Month, in March was the kind of the summary of this. And it's not an end goal, obviously. It's not because you have a good rookie season that you'll be good afterwards. But do think I've showed a lot, especially in the last couple of months. So I hope that will be enough. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one who votes. I don't even know who votes actually, but whoever votes, that'd be great. Love it. But at the end of the day, you guys are professional. You know what to do. The only one thing that will always kind of be against me and that I cannot really control is it's a little less sexier when you have end of a second round guy that makes first team instead of your usual top 5, top 10 lottery guys. That's the business of the NBA. That's also how it works, right? But I do think it could also be a beautiful story and people could take advantage of it. So
he's right and he's wrong at the same time. Yeah, for the NBA, if they want to clout how the guys that are drafted at the top are the best of the best in the world, then okay. But I think that's a tired marketing scheme. I think that's a given. It is the National Basketball Association, right? I'm not aware of any basketball league that draws ratings like the NBA draws or pays players to play basketball like the NBA pays. I think the better story is the 42nd pick. When we talk about drafts, unless you were a slam dunk, right? Pick, a slam dunk pick at your place where you were drafted, your slot that you were drafted, and I'm talking in the top 5, right? Unless you're that guy, what do we talk about the most with drafts? We talk about the busts and we talk about the finds. And Max Reynaud is the find of this draft. Hands down. To me, that's a better story. He's right. So, you look at the rookie numbers. They're up on the screen for you right now. The problem with these rookie numbers, the thing that skews these rookie numbers is minutes played. So for me, if I have a vote, I am looking at minutes played. So right now, let's go to minutes played. We're already there. Max is 12th in minutes played. He's ahead of a guy like Cedric Coward in Memphis, who had a decent season, but I don't think it was better than Max Reynaud's season. A lot of guys below him, Jeremiah Fears, again, I don't have a problem with him being on the all rookie team. He deserves it. But the problem, my biggest problem, is a guy like Ace Bailey, a guy like Derek Queen. Utah and the Kings, last time I checked, were tied for the 4th worst record in the league. Why are you going to not apply the same formula? The Pelicans were not good. They were towards the bottom of the league. You have to apply the same formula to all those guys as well, that they were on bad teams. So you can't look at those two. Same thing with Coward. Memphis sucked. You can't look at those guys and say, oh, well, they've got to step up. You know what the step up is? It's where they were drafted. That's it. And that's what Max is getting at. Rebounding. Max, 5th. Led all rookies in double-doubles. How about we go to scoring? It's what everybody looks at. Scoring. Where are we at? Points. Cooper, Kahn, VJ, some guy I've never heard of in Milwaukee, Jeremiah Fears, Ace Bailey, Cedric Coward, Max Reno, Trey Johnson, Blake Hinson. Max is a slam dunk. Slam dunk, 2nd team all rookie. Slam dunk. It unquestionably a 2nd team all rookie player. The question is the Sacramento rule going to go against Max? Where this stat line, the minutes played, the scoring, I will even go as far as to say net rating. Think about how bad the Kings were this season. The Kings had one of the worst net ratings in the NBA. And Max's net rating was only minus, what was it? Where are we? Did I already pass you? I looked at it before. It's like -6, I want to say. Where's Max at? Was it that bad? Let me know if you see Max. I'm trying to scan here. You know what? Why don't we just go back and I can look across and see where he was at. So let's go back to points. So Max was a -6.2. Okay. He's a rookie. There's Kings who have a lot worse personal net ratings than that. So I'm with Jason Anderson where we started this discussion. If I had a vote, objectively, I would be putting Max as my 5th player on the 1st team, all rookie team, just as Jason Anderson did. It was fun to get to watch Max's evolution throughout the season. He was one of those guys that was just so consistent at working at certain things. And then you saw those things. You can see players, him and Precious, to me, were the 2 players this season where I would watch them work things. And Doug Christie's talked about this with Max, where we'll show him something in film, ask him to put it in his game, and he does, or he makes the adjustment. But Max and Precious were the 2 guys where they would work something before every single game, after every single practice, from day 1 of training camp, or in Precious's case, when he got to Sacramento. And then by the end of the season, it was, I don't want to say like the biggest part of their game, but one of the best parts of their game. So to see that real life progression, here is one video I took Max at the free throw line. I would say this, look at Max's size. This was earlier in the season. Max actually put on weight during the season, which is very rare for a rookie. But here's one video. Okay, now check this video out. This one's going to have a little more sound. Look at, and it's not a ton more size, but you can visibly notice the size, and look what he's working on, because this became his bread and butter. Respect to him. I hope when we hit, and I don't have a dog in the fight, we're about 35 minutes away roughly from the announcement. It will be a travesty if Max is not part of the second team. But you got to apply the Sacramento Kings rule to Max. There you go, Tay. Try that. If not, I'll refresh it and you can try another one. You've got to apply the Sacramento Kings rule to Max. Even when the Kings are decent, a King usually has to do twice as much to get half of the recognition. But this will be like, have you seen that GIF of the monk that is repeatedly kicking the other monk in the junk? Have you seen that GIF? I put it up when the Kings got the 7th pick. That will be the ultimate kick to the junk on this season. Like, if there's somebody you got to reward in this thing, acknowledge what he's done. Just do it. But the writers and all the same bullshit excuses that you get. Well, it's they play on the West Coast, so games are late. They're a bad team. Okay, well, if you have Ace Bailey on the list, they're a bad team. If you have Trey Johnson on the list, they're a bad team. If you have Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears, they're a bad team. The Kings weren't that much worse. But this is where the Vivek Ranadive, the function of the organization, that whole cloud that hangs over the Kings, the athletic poll that we put up here, it was the player poll that asked players which team would they least want to be traded to. The Kings were 3rd on the list. That's where all this ends up hurting a guy like Max, a guy like Malik Monk. So we'll watch that together here in a little bit. We'll talk also, we'll preview tonight's game between the Spurs and the Thunder. But first, let's go to the phones. Tay, what's up, man?
Hey, Rhino, thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
I swear if in 40 minutes, if I don't see Max Reynolds' name in the first or the second NBA rookie team, and I see Ace Bailey or Derek Queen making for them, I swear I'm gonna become a Lakers fan. I am tired of the disrespect that we've been getting. He should have also made the All-Star rookie team, not just Max Reynolds, but Sabonis got robbed 2 All-Star appearances because of Jaren Jackson Jr. JJJ is not better than Sabonis. I am tired of the disrespect that we get as a team.
Preach! Keep going, Tay. Did we lose Tay? Damn! Tay, you just put in one of the best calls. You just put in the best call since we're back to the Daily Show. But like, you are on the list now. You were already on the list of best callers, but like best calls in the history of the Kings Court. Like, he just mic dropped us. He's like, peace. Tay, don't become a Lakers fan. You don't got to go that far. How about that? Damn, Tay. Whew. Tay.
It will be a dandy.
Damn, man. Tay, you're almost ready for the Rome. Tay.
Can you believe what you just saw?
I can't believe what I just heard. Anybody else? Anybody else? I probably wouldn't want to follow up Tay either. Holy crap. Tay. Rack him, right? I mean, I have been part of that show for a minute, and that call would have worked on that show. Like, Tay, you know what, Tay? Daddy's home.
Daddy's back.
That fires me up. He almost got run for the Lakers take. Do I need to go back at him to the justices of the King's Court? They were not too kind to you last time. Let's see. Yeah. No, I'm going to give him leeway. The hang up, that is what gives him the leeway. If Max doesn't, I'm going to Bennett and not paying for soda refills. Oh my gosh. Yes, good job, AP. This is what I love about this community. You just add on to it. A max drop. That was Tay's max drop. 100%. Tay, that call, we had a call from somebody it was a year and a half ago. We used to have a voicemail on the King's Court. And you could call in after hours, and the best voicemails would make it to the show. And I don't remember his name. I should remember his name, but his voicemail was legendary. And it was before the Kings. It was before Oregon played in the college football playoff, number one, because that matters to the call. But number two, it was before the Kings went on the 5-game losing streak. So it was the year that Fox got traded and Brown got fired. It was before all of that as well. And it was the most depressing but legendary calls. I'm going to see if I can find it. Tay, you are right up there with that. Thank you, Icebox. He needs to stay in your lane, Adam. Stay in your freaking lane. We're talking Max Reynaud. We're counting down to the announcement. Let's go back to the phones. Mac, what's up, dude?
Hey, you're going to hate what I'm going to say, and I think everyone else is, but like, I think you got to put things in comparison. Why was Max Reynaud not at the All-Star game? Because who wants to see a Sacramento King when they're so terrible? Look, let's be honest. Max Reynaud was a second-round pick. Okay, they make the decisions when in December, early January, right? We didn't have a full package. We didn't have a full season of Max Reynaud, and then it's like. And then also, Ryan, yeah, the Kings factor is a real thing. Like, if you're trying to get ratings, like the Sacramento Kings, I'm sorry, are not the team to showcase. It's just not. It stinks, but it is what it is. And we've kind of dug our own hole. I mean, in that way. And another thing about Sabonis not getting respect, I'm going to tell you something. We might be overvaluing Sabonis. He's on his third team, about to be fourth team, which means he's a journeyman. Well, guys who are like superstars and can change a franchise aren't journeymen. And
Mac, Sabonis ain't that guy. We know Sabonis ain't that guy.
Right. And here's why he got left off of an all-star team. Ever since round one, again, something happened to him round one after he got stomped on Draymond Green.
No, it happened before that. It happened before that. As soon as they started laying off of him defensively.
But my point is the dude isn't. He's not that same dangerous guy. You know what I mean? Like he's not. Like if it's a borderline call between Sabonis and someone else, I'm not taking Sabonis. What does he do defensively? Like I feel like since he got stomped, he almost like I don't want to say lacks physicality, but he's not. I don't know. He's not the same player like since that time. And that's just me. Like, I don't think he's played like an all-star in the last 2 years. He put up some stats. Like but if you're talking about like an all-around game, I don't think you know what I mean? Like when you said he's not that dude. Well, and also you're on a team that wins what? That was last year 500. That's great. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I do think that there's some bias, especially in the last caller, but you have to see it if you look at things from a different perspective. I can 100% understand why Sabonis or why Max Reno would get overshadowed. Now, do I think Max Reno should be on the rookie team, the all rookie team? I do. But when it comes,
Sabonis,
go ahead.
Max Sabonis was left off. Okay, here's my thing with Sabonis in All-Star games. He is not an All-Star game player. He doesn't play that type of game. That game is about up and down, sexy game, shooting threes, high flying dunks, right? That's not what he does. So when he made the All-Star team, he played a little bit. Like, he's a grind dude. But what happened that year? He was an all NBA player. They made it right. So, like, I'm not going to say, and I've always said the Kings have not had that guy. And I also agree, and that includes Fox, that includes Richmond, that includes Cousins. You can go down the entire list. The Kings have never had that guy. I will agree that we overvalue Sabonis to a degree because everybody, I think this fan base, I myself who covers the fan base, we overvalue our players. We see past some of the flaws, right? However, when it comes to Domas, his drop off in production, I'm not putting that all on Domas. So I hold him in higher regard with the same filters that you have put on him during the call.
But if you think of it like this, he's got a drop off in production and is losing. So that means that, like the small things that don't come up on the score on the stat sheet, that means that that's not happening either. Possible, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's again, and also the people that you mentioned that we overvalue, like Mitch Richmond and all the other players you mentioned. Cousins was better. Like, his problem was mental, but he had more talent and was a better player. And Mitch Richmond was a Hall of Famer, and so.
Oh, I disagree. I would put Richmond above Cousins every day of the week. Mitch Richmond.
No, I'm saying Mitch Richmond. Those guys were actually legit players compared to Domas. Domas is like, look, he's like a okay player. That's what I think. Like a guy who, and I think rightfully so, a one-time All-Star.
Mac, I love you, but I disagree with you, dude. Jerry Reynolds has him as the best Kings center of all time, Sacramento era.
Better than Vlade Divac.
Yes.
I see. I don't know.
Hey,
I disagree.
That's okay, and that's the beauty of this.
But
right?
Can I say compared, because you want to know something? What's his name? The guy from UCLA from the Warriors. He dominated Sabonis, and in Game 7, how many rebounds did they have in a Game 7? Did the Warriors get and Sabonis not get? And that was what killed him. It wasn't just, that's why Curry went off for 50.
What? Okay, go back. I'm going to give you homework, Mac. Go back and watch.
Looney? Hey, was it Looney, I believe, right?
Mac, I'm going to give you homework. Go back and watch the third quarter of that game and tell me how many long rebounds there were that were offensive rebounds.
Fair. That's fair to say. No, but in that series, Looney did dominate him, I felt, on the boards. Right? Looney's the one from UCLA, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Anyway,
good call.
Look, take it easy. Have a good day.
I love when people, hey, Mac, appreciate you, brother. I love when people disagree. That's fine. I think, though, that's he's underselling Domas there. Okay, so we talked about Tay's legendary call that just happened. We are 15 minutes away from dipping into Peacock. We're not going to have the video. We will have the audio, though. So we will have the audio. We'll get to your reactions in a second. But while I was talking to Mac, I was able to find Charlie's voicemail. Tay, you are now on a small list, and Charlie is one of those people on the list. For those that are just joining us, Charlie left us a voicemail. It was in the season that Mike Brown was fired and De'Aaron was traded, but this voicemail was roughly 3 or 4 weeks, and it was around the holidays, 3 or 4 weeks before everything went down, including the college football playoff. So here's Charlie's voicemail.
Hey, my name's Charlie. I'm a huge Kings fan, and I just wanted to, I guess, discuss my frustrations about the past couple of days. Basically the season as a Kings fan, it's just been a disappointment, but mostly the past couple of days, and just my disappointment and just disgust in the owner of this franchise and just the direction this franchise is heading. I frequently go to Kings games. I've been to a lot. I'm actually a college student, so my parents have been nice enough to kind of get me tickets to the games, so I've been able to go. And it's just been so unfortunate to see them. I mean, they lost 6 in a row now. And I'm just pretty disgusted with this team. I'm pretty close to, I love this team so much, so it's kind of basically, I feel like it's my last straw. And I'm obviously gonna support this team, but it's just so hard right now. I'm glad I go to University of Oregon, so I'm glad I have the Ducks at least are in the college football playoff. But it's definitely unfortunate times as a Kings fan. So yeah, bye.
Brutal. And he summarized, like, that was before we were even at base camp of this avalanche. The foresight of Charlie, that was left on December 28th, 2024 at 10:55 p.m. Poor Charlie. Charlie, I don't know if you still listen. You are a legend here. And Tay, your call is now on the list with Charlie. And I hope you're wrong, Tay. I don't want you to be a Lakers fan. Because if you're a Lakers fan, then what's going to happen? You're going to get to games, 2 minutes into the second quarter. You're going to leave games, minute 30 left in the third quarter. You're going to use your Amex to buy your merch so you can trade your jerseys in every time they trade a player. You're going to know the return policy to a T when it comes to merch because you'll wear it for 29 days and return it on the 30th day. Inevitably, if you come to a Sacramento Kings game wearing your Lakers stuff with your tag still on it, a Kings fan will rip that tag off and you're going to be bent because now you're stuck with that merch as a, quote, Lakers fan. Don't do it, Tay. Don't go down that road, Tay. Tay, can you deal with Luka Doncic for 82 games? I don't think you can, my man. I don't think we're going to get there, Tay. I think Max will be second team. But Jason Anderson, I'm with him 100%. If I had a vote, Max would be my 5th player on the first team. Beauty of this is we're going to find out in about 10 minutes. We're going to tap into Peacock here in about 10 minutes. We've got that all set up, so we'll listen to it together. We'll react to it together. Lynn, you can drop your call whenever you want. Probably not today, though, my man. Today is not a good day to drop the call because we're going to be going into Peacock. I want to give you a nice, clean platform for that. BJ remembers Charlie. Yeah, you remember that? How many times did we play that back in the day? How do you get on the call list? No, you get on the call list by making a legendary call. That's how you get on the call list. Icebox has never been more right. Hang it up, Adam. Jason Thompson was better, the longest tenured King. Yeah, Mitch was better. Mitch, I will go this far. Mitch is the closest thing that you had to that guy. The closest thing you've had to that guy. Speaking of guys or guys who like candles, you think this candle is scented? I bet it is, knowing this guy. Kazi, what's up, dude?
Yo, hey, I just need to apologize to someone real quick.
Sure.
Can I apologize to Tom Dundon? Because yesterday you asked me for some ideas and
Yes.
I was speechless, Ryan, and I couldn't think of anything. So I think I gotta help him out here.
Oh, let's do it. We've got Tom right here on the line for you. So let's help him out some more. Go for it, Kaz.
All right, so since he doesn't seem to care about his players or his staff, I don't think he cares about his family, right? So how about to save money, he hits up every single female in his family, and then he goes and takes their curling irons, uses those at the concession stands to warm up the hot dog buns.
Hey, that works for sure. Well, okay, here's the thing. Do you think his family actually has curling irons?
I mean, we could find out.
I mean, they might curl their hair around the broiler part of the oven. You don't know. So, just saying.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, here's another one. You know, like to save money during overtime. How about he has the fans generate electricity by doing pedaling station?
Now we're cooking with oil.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said.
Everything you just said. Good job. Any more?
You want another one?
Yeah. Keep them,
All right.
Keep them rolling.
I'm not Ron. I don't know if this one is fair, but hell, he might just go with it. How about he makes a rule in his arena that opposing coaches have to insert quarters into the challenge review monitor?
It's good, but the NBA wouldn't allow it.
You think he's got a team with them or no?
I mean, I think the NBA would take issue with that because it's part of the rules of the game. But, I was talking to somebody about this topic yesterday. And because, they live on the coast or close to the coast, he could use the baskets, like the backboards. He could take those down and use them as glass bottom boats and do cruises in the off season.
So I can't think of anything else. But I feel bad for that franchise. Hey, Ryan, I'll just end the show or I'll end my call like this. Is it safe to say that maybe Tom Dundon and Ron Adive should just get a room together?
No, it's not, because Vivek spends money. He just spends it in the wrong places, like on B-list celebrities who celebrate with the other team when they beat the Kings. But I get what you're saying. We're getting there. I mean, from a basketball standpoint, if you're looking to bring in a $1 million coach coming off of a playoff year after your fan base has endured a rebuild that has been done actually pretty well, maybe, yeah. Worlds are beginning to collide a little bit. Did I lose Kazi? There he goes. Okay, so Kazi's dropping off. All right, we are roughly 6 minutes away. We've got it queued up, by the way, just so you know. We're all queued up. We are plugged in to Peacock. Listen to that beautiful music. We will see if Max Reno, final predictions, will Max Reno be on an all-rookie team? You can't put Derek Queen on there and not have Max. You just can't do it. You can't do it. Derek Queen, no. You can't do it. We'll see. Let's talk really quick about this because I know we're not going to be able to get to it after we get the Max Reno announcement. Well, first off, don't forget Grant back tonight, 7 o'clock. He probably will not spend as much time on this, but he will definitely be talking about the Spurs and the Thunder in live time. Ask him some questions about this. He'll tell you his opinions on it. Also, baseball, Giants, brutal walk-off last night, and NHL playoffs. The Avs and the Golden Knights. Grant will be all over that tonight. So join him 7 o'clock. I will be watching that game on my iPad because my main TV is going to be right here, and that's going to be on the on the Spurs and the Thunder. After digesting game 1, after going back, watching game 1 again, and last time I checked, let's double check this and see if Foxy is available. Should be coming out soon. De'Aaron is still listed as questionable, so we should be finding out any minute whether or not De'Aaron is going to be playing. That report was at 4:15. So as soon as we know that, we'll let you know as well. But even if De'Aaron does not play, looking at how last game played out, I don't understand what's going to change from a physicality aspect. I don't, because that's what the Spurs do. That's how the Spurs play. Now, the Thunder will get out. They're better in the fast break. I understand that. But playoffs a lot of times are a grinded out half-court game. Think about how the Spurs won last game. Steph Castle had 11 turnovers. You got an above average performance from Dylan Harper. Can you count on that again? Probably not. Offensively, defensively, he's going to give you the same. I also look at some of the role players, Carter Bryant, the way he chased around SGA. I don't expect that to change much. Now we go back to the whistle because the whistle might change. So I'm going to go under the assumption that the refs are going to keep it consistent like they did last game. If Wemby is not in foul trouble, and even if SGA gets comfortable, because the game plan for the Spurs last game was we are not going to let SGA beat us. Everybody else around us needs to beat us. Jalen Williams had a really good game. First game back from that injury. And then there's Alex Caruso, right? And I'm looking at Alex Caruso. Is he going to repeat that game tonight offensively? No. Defensively, yes. He's going to give Wemby some issues. So I don't know really what's different tonight. Why is the spread larger in favor of Oklahoma City? I get they're the defending champions, but the Spurs have beat them 5 of 6 times this season. How can I go against the numbers? If the Spurs, the only way the Thunder win tonight, if the Spurs can't hit a 3, but if the Spurs are making shots, physicality is going to stay the same. In fact, it might go up a notch. OKC is going to go down 0-2 tonight. I've got the Spurs straight up. You're not going to get 41 and 22 out of Wemby, but they don't have an answer for him unless Chet Holmgren plays out of his mind and plays completely different. AJ Mitchell has to play out of his mind as well. I'm looking at the Peacock screen right now, and the Peacock screen is showing the view of downtown Sacramento. Is that an omen? We will see. We are waiting on the announcement of the NBA all rookie teams. Jason Anderson of the Sac B thinks, or doesn't think, he voted Max Reynaud in as his 5th player on the all rookie first team. If I had a vote, that is exactly where I would put Max. Here are the rookies. Peacock getting ready to come to air. right now. So we'll get that on for you once the players do their walkthroughs and they play round ball rock. I'm going to put up the rookie stats as we look at this as well. We will go off points there. Remember, Max had more double doubles than anybody else as a rookie in the NBA. I can see him being left off both teams. This will be another, I'm not going to say a travesty because Domas was left off 2 all-star teams. Monk didn't get 6th man. But this would be a kick to the package because Max deserves it. Derek Queen, Trey Johnson, terrible teams. Ace Bailey, terrible team. Not that much different than Sacramento. So how do you put that in their favor? And I am doing this objectively. There is nothing about growing up a Kings fan that is influencing what I am saying right now. Let's dip into Peacock as they
Tell
are
the truth,
talking.
Vince. Were you a little bit jealous watching the game
Absolutely.
and not being here with us?
My spot was all taken, and y'all looked happy and excited, and y'all were delivering the great analysis and got to watch the game, so I was tuned in.
Okay, just making
but I'm
sure.
back.
Okay, we missed them a lot, but listen, the Spurs, they got the win in that thriller, and history is actually on their side after that all-time classic win. The last 9 Western Conference Finals have been won by the team that won the series opener. And we've had reporters at morning shoot-arounds for both teams, so we'll hear from OKC's leading scorer from Game 1, who was Alex Caruso. He'll be with Zora Stevenson. But first, Spurs sharpshooter Julian Champagny with Ashley Shamady.
All right, Julian, a statement Game 1 win. What can a win like that do for you guys, your mentality, your confidence heading into Game 2?
Yeah, I think it makes us believe that, we have a shot. Even though we already believe that, it's just putting
We're going to keep an eye
actually
on
showing
Shams
some results. So
as well.
going into Game 2, obviously we're confident. We'll sit to the game
Because
plan,
he's been breaking all of
manage
this
their
before
adjustments
the
and,
actual announcement.
try to win another game.
Speaking of their adjustments, I'm sure you're anticipating quite the response from them tonight. But for you, someone who is ISO with Shea defensively a lot, what are you expecting just the defensive assignment that you have to bring tonight against a guy like that?
Yeah, it'll be a lot more physicality, a lot more attention to detail. Obviously, he's a great player, so he'll make his own adjustments and get some more buckets. We'll just be ready to counter that.
And anything specific from the film that you saw that personally you want to work on tonight?
Just being more physical, being a
Thanks,
little more,
brother.
being better stances, better position, and then rebounding.
Thank you, Julian. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'm taking the Spurs straight
Talked
up,
about it
y'all.
being a long 48 hours. You guys had some stuff to figure out, but Coach says one of the things he loves about this group is its ability to problem solve. What was the topic that came up the most since Game 1?
Yeah, I think it's just the details of stuff that we know we can do better. Whether it's just an execution standpoint, defensively being in positions, offensively
Lynn.
getting into better actions for ourselves. Stuff that I think we've done all year that, whether it's being off for a week or just playing a good opponent, forces you into mistakes. Just cleaning those up, being sharper.
Defensively, you spent a lot of time on Wemby. You're 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
He's 7'4". You've talked previously about doing your work
Keeping
early.
an eye on
What advantages
Shams.
do you actually have in that matchup?
We have a
the
couple
further you get
things.
to the perimeter,
De'Aaron
I think
Fox
it works in my
is
favor just to be able
expected to miss his second consecutive game.
Anticipate
I'm okay
stuff,
with that.
Be able to manipulate the way that they're trying to run screens and different things like that. And then obviously you need help from your teammates. You got to have guys behind you, you can trust and have your back in case there's a slip up.
I'm okay with that, by the way. De'Aaron
line, but how do
Fox
you
is going to miss
impact
his
that you had in Game
second
1?
straight game.
Yeah,
In
just
fact,
playing
why
hard,
don't we
playing
get
hard and competing. That's what
here?
this time of the year is about.
Don't look
I
at my
think that's
messages,
why
y'all.
I relish these games so much, is because
Let's go
it's the pinnacle
to
of competition and it's something that I really enjoy.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks.
And the pinnacle of play, that's what we saw in Game 1. Listen, we're going to be breaking down this matchup as we continue to go along the adjustments we're going to see from OKC. But first, we get to announce the Kia NBA All-Rookie
Here we
teams.
go.
Look, another envelope is here with us. You guys ready to go ahead and do this?
Let's do it.
Okay. First up, Cooper Flag.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes, led his team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals.
Cooper
Cooper
obviously
Flag.
he was going to make this
No
NBA
surprise. Rookie of the year.
This year NBA Rookie of the Year. He deserved it. He was going to be on that list. What he did, breaking records in Dallas this year, and now they're going to see who's the next, who's the next coach over there to lead him.
Yeah, we will be finding that out soon. But How about his roommate making the list as well, whom we expected to be a part of this, Con Kniffel from the Charlotte Hornets?
Of course, talking about setting records. This young man came in and set the rookie record for threes made. He led the entire NBA in threes made. So, yeah, he deserves to be on there. Averaging 19 points in his rookie season was sensational this year.
Yeah,
is Max going to be the fifth?
Who led all rookies in minutes played. You guys know this young man. We spent a lot of time with him, especially in the postseason. BJ Edgecombe.
My God,
there you go.
100% fair.
You can see his confidence grow throughout the season. He was very confident at the beginning of the season, obviously, but he got comfortable as the season went on. I thought he was fantastic in the playoffs.
Will Jeremiah Fears
Joel Embiid
be the next
steps
one?
Up, BJ. I look forward to seeing what type of player he becomes next season.
Technically, that's 3 guards.
100%. A guy that we've noticed has been a monster, even in game one, right here on this court. Dylan Harper, who got his first playoff start, now welcome to the All-Rookie first
4
team.
guards.
So you talking about somebody, again, they questioned this pick that we went San Antonio's chosen him, picked him second. But what he's been doing, he got better.
Is Jeremiah Fears going to be the bookend?
Rookie, ups and downs throughout the season.
Or is it going to be Ace Bailey?
Game one in the Western Conference Finals, a rookie.
I believe it should be Max right now.
He deserved that first team honor.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets another start today, whether or not De'Aaron Fox can go. Still a game-time decision. But the last name on the list for the first team is Cedric Coward of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Gotta be shitting me.
Another TVC guy.
Stop the madness.
Early in the year, it was like, what does he bring to the table? Well, his defensive edge and passion. He plays extremely hard. He's fearless, and he said he wants to be Kawhi Leonard-like. And I look forward to seeing that. He just went about his business. Yes, Memphis.
That's all guards, by the way.
About much, but he had a great season.
Cooper Flag, I get he's
all right, so that is your first team, all-rookie team. Let's get into the second team. First up, we have Maxime Reynaud from the Sacramento Kings. Then it's going to be Derek Queen from the New Orleans Pelicans.
There you go.
Jeremiah Fears, his teammate from the Pelicans.
My two guys.
There you go.
Yes.
Ace Bailey from the Utah Jazz.
Congratulations to Max Reynaud.
Now that's the one. He should have been on the first team.
Tell me more. Tell me why.
Murray should have been the first team. This is a kid who nobody was expecting anything from. He go out there to Toronto, help those guys get to the playoffs, compete in the playoffs.
Congratulations, Max Reynaud. He absolutely deserves second team honors. He was the first guy on the second team. We'll see when the voting comes out, but that presumably leads me to believe that he was right on that border between first and second team. So how about that reaction? Max Reynaud, second team all rookie. How about that? Good stuff for Max. Absolutely deserved it. Max had a great season. We'll go back to what Max said, by the way. Hey, I'm still a Kings fan. Let's go back to what Max said. His argument for being on the team. Great stuff. Shams did not bust it, which is surprising. Do we still have Max? Yes, we do. This was Max talking about why he thought he should be on the all-rookie team.
For first team, I think that I showed that I was better. I think if you see the improvement, especially like for all-rookie team or anything like that. I mean, I don't really think I need to sell myself in the sense that, season is over. You can just look back and look at it. I think your colleague just mentioned, I led the rookies in double-doubles, led them in rebound per game as well. I think if you see the improvement, especially post All-Star break, probably the only rookie that, trended that way the whole year. I believe in second in efficiency or something like that. I do think if you just, look at the numbers and look at the games that I've had against bigs of my class that may be competing with me for first team, I think that I showed that I was better, or at least I produced more. So that is what it is. I think the Western Conference Rookie of the Month, in March was the kind of the summary of this. And it's not an end goal, obviously. It's not because you have a good rookie season that you'll be good afterwards. But do think I've shot a lot, especially in the last couple of months. So I hope that will be enough. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not the one who votes. Like, I don't even know who votes actually, but whoever votes, like, that'd be great. Love it. But at the end of the day, like, you guys are professional. You know what to do. The only one thing that will always kind of be against me and that I cannot really control is, like, it's a little less sexier when you have end of a second round guy that makes first team instead of like your usual like top 5, top 10 lottery guys. That's the business of the NBA. That's also how it works, right? But I do think it could also be like a beautiful story and people could take advantage of it. So
Part two of that.
So we will look to NBA Com. I call it NBA Com. Here we go. We have it. So Max Reynaud received 26 first place votes. That is the most first place votes. Let's actually put it up here for you. That is the most first place votes for anybody on the second all-rookie team. He was just a couple of votes away from being a first team all-rookie player. So the league, I am so happy for Max. I am so happy for Max because he is getting the recognition that he 100. No, we're not going to put a tweet out. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to do a search. He 100% deserves this honor. And to be quite frank with you, I am shocked that the voters turned out like this for Max. How about that? Max got 26 first team votes. So VJ Edgecombe, interesting. Cooper Flag, VJ, and Khan all got 100 votes. Dylan Harper, 93. Cedric Coward, 29. See, that when we watch this live, that's where I'm like, no, like, come on. Cedric Coward, first team. Max was 3 votes away from Cedric Coward. So, great stuff. Congratulations, Max. You grinded your ass off. It couldn't happen to a more professional rookie than Max, and all of the rookies on the Kings have been professional, but Max has just been a joy to be around. Very humble, very grounded. His game is very much like his personality, laid back, not cocky, confident in your skills. And the fact that you saw him grow throughout this season, that's something to hang your hat on if you're the Sacramento Kings. This does not make this season better. It doesn't make up for what you went through for 82 games. But at least tonight, thinking about the Kings and thinking about Max Reynaud, you can put a smile on your face. Congratulations, Max. Happy for Max. Jason Anderson had it right on the nails. Right on the freaking nails. He killed it. Other voters, that's the thing to take away from this, right? Think about how many other voters put him in as a first-team player. That's great stuff. 26, 3 votes away from being a first team. So good for Max. Great way to head off to the summer. Sacramento does not get snubbed. Max Reynaud did twice as much to get half the recognition, but this feels right. I think first team, I still think he should have been first team. If you're really looking at the numbers, you're looking at the impact on the team. You're looking, the word that I come to, consistency. Consistency is the word that I think about when it comes to Max Reynaud and his production versus the other rookies, Cedric Coward and the others on the second team. That's where I think Max has Cedric Coward beat just in that area alone. But nonetheless, don't want to take anything away from Cedric. Max Reno, second team all rookie. Love to see that he got the most votes out of all the second team players. So that's incredible for me that he was ahead of Jeremiah Fears. We got it right with Ace Bailey. We got it right with Derek Queen. So there you go. No Trey Johnson. How about that? There we go. Feel good about it, y'all. Sacramento Kings. Little something to hang your hat on if you're a Kings fan. All right, I've got the Spurs straight up tonight. They go up 2-0 in this series. I just don't see, even if SGA has a night, what else is going to change? Looking at the production. Mentally, I am not worried about the Thunder. They're going to come out. Maybe they come out a little stronger. I don't buy into they were knocking the rust off last game. I think the Spurs it'll be a close game. I don't think the Spurs will blow them out, but I do think the Spurs win. Hey, my thanks to all of you. Thanks for sticking with us. We will be back tomorrow, Thursday edition of the King's Court. Look out. I will retweet the press release once the Kings put that out. It might already be out. Let me check. They probably had it. Yeah, it's already out. Let's pull that up for you. What do you think? Oh, I got to be careful about pulling this up. Oh no, I don't have to be careful. This is okay because it's all on one page. Let's pull the press release up and we will get out of here. Let me download this. All right, let's go here. And let's get over here. Change this. Can I get this up? Sorry. Y'all like hang with me. Let me see if I can. You know what? That's what I'll do. Hold on. Let's do this. We're going to go here. Let me do this really quick. So I don't need you seeing my emails. Not that there's anything bad there. All right. There we go. All right. So the official release from the Kings on Max making second team all rookie. Here we go. There's your official release. The NBA announced today Sacramento Kings center Max Reno has been named to the 2025-2026 all rookie second team. Reno is the 22nd player in franchise history to be named to an NBA or an all rookie, an NBA all rookie team, and the 8th to receive a second team nomination, selected with the 42nd pick. In the 2025 NBA draft, Reno appeared in 74 games, 56 starts for the Kings this season, posting averages of 12.5 points, 57.1% field goals, 78.6% free throws, 7.5 rebounds, and 1.4 assists in 26.5 minutes per game. He totaled 922 points and 556 rebounds in his debut season, become the 7th player in NBA history to post 900 points and 550 rebounds or better while shooting 55.0%. I'm with you. He should have been on there over Cedric Coward 100%. I don't know where those, if you're going to go by the points, Coward had averaged, I believe, almost 2 points more, 1.5 more per game. But just what the Kings laid out there with the starts, I mean, that's a good stat about how he's the 7th player, or what was it? He is the 7th player. That's a good stat. The important stat to me, though, the stat that would, for me, change my vote, or at least be the separator in my vote for him over Coward, is leading all rookies in double doubles. I thought he was going to be fifth too. 26 votes. So look, I'm glad the NBA is respecting what Max does. So good stuff. All right, we are out. Join Grant tonight. We get to leave on a good feeling. I'm going Spurs straight up in this one tonight. And don't get me wrong, if they get up like 10 points in the third quarter, I'll probably get out of that like I did last night, but I still think the Spurs win. I don't want to have to sweat that out. So we'll break it down tomorrow. We'll talk more about Max, hopefully get some reaction from Max. You'll probably get some reaction from Doug Christie, etc. And I will post the press release to my ex if you would like to go read the rest of it. Grant tonight, 7 o'clock. Join him. He'll be right here on If You Don't Like That. Tay, legendary call. If you missed it, go back. You can watch the show on replay on YouTube. Audio uploaded to Apple, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. You can find the King's Court with Rhino. That'll be up here in about 30 or 45 minutes. Make it a great rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the basketball. Enjoy the hockey. Court is dismissed.